Next up is human-centered generative AI. We've been focused on human-centered AI design for, it's got to be close to 10 years now. A lot of it was very sort of theoretical, if you will, because there wasn't much of an opportunity to build AI that was really human-centered.
Well, a lot of it was based on bias.
A lot of it was based on bias,
ethics,
and
yeah.
it was premised around responsible AI in the predictive analytics, world of AI. We now have a brand new opportunity with conversational AI. So today, what you see is you go to a chat. And most of the tools, it's a prompt and response, and that response might have a sort of a bit at the end that goes, well, and remember to think about X, Y, Z or something like that. But it's really a one and done. You go in, you're asking for something, you come out of it. You can use the tool to iterate and dig deeper and go more and more, but the tool itself isn't really working as a conversation back to you to help develop an idea. If you're sitting working with someone that you work with all the time, you're bantering back, you're expanding on ideas together, you're helping each other build something together. That's really what we think of as one of the core parts of human-centered generative AI, is the tool itself being able to participate in the development of new ideas, the refinement of ideas, and the creation. So this also has a really important part, which is if the tool's designed well, it helps enhance our sense of purpose and our understanding and belief of agency. And so when you have that, that's something that you can really get on board with. It helps reduce your fears that this tool will replace you, and you see the tool as very much a digital partner. It is working for you. When you think about this topic, go back and look at all the things that we've written in our obsession of mind for our minds. You can find all of that on Artificiality. It's a core theme for us as we think about what the future of these tools could be. So we're watching to see these new design approaches. We're looking for things that go beyond tasks and really build into a longer term conversation. Of course, that does have cost challenges as you have longer threads. So that's going to be something we expect not to be to take time. This is a screenshot of Pi, which I think is helpful. It's one tool that kind of stands out as leading down the path that we're thinking about. You can see that it started off the conversation saying, hey, it's got a problem. And I said, great, can you share the problem you're facing? I said, I'm struggling with how to explain a complex topic to a new audience. And you can see, got it. It can be difficult, and And can you give me an idea of what topic you're trying to explain and who the audience is? You can see how when you use Pi, it engages you in the conversation, and it's a participant in the process that you're undertaking. That's a really interesting way to engage someone and bring them along. So this is a key theme. There's a lot of different aspects to what designing for humans as a human-centered designer means. But this is going to be a key theme that we'll keep watching.
Before you go on, to give you an example of the sort of case study approach that we'll be watching here, Stitch Fix is a fashion company. It's a real AI leader. They've been they've been using pretty sophisticated AI for a long time. They were kind of built from that perspective. Now they've had an interesting experience with generative AI. In this human-centered way. So it's a fashion company. Why do people get into fashion? Because they like fashion, and it's about how they feel about their choice. And if you, the way that Stitch Fix uses AI is there's an enormous amount of curation that's done by the AI behind the scenes, but there's always this human element of how to pull the curation together. And that with traditional AI and traditional models, up until a year or so, 2 years ago, that process was always had this human element that was valued as creative, as curative, as a need of the taste of that curator, that human curator. With generative AI, that has been eroded. And the curators in Stitch Fix have been really, quite nervous, like really nervous, and rejecting a lot of this more sophisticated generative AI that's actually doing some of this fashion design. And the way that they've solved it is to solved. It's like obviously a work in progress. One of the ways that they've approached this is to change the design of the generative model so that when the different generative options are presented to the curator, the human has the opportunity that there's not just a yes or no, I'm going to accept or not accept that. There's a more nuanced way of saying, if you choose this option, it will decrease margins by $1 per item. So there's this transparency in terms of the trade-offs. So the AI is designed to optimize for sales and cost. The human sitting there saying, do I like that or not? And they're given that agency. Their agency is supported there. Now, time will tell whether that's sufficient or whether that's seen as just sort of a band-aid on human agency. But this whole human-centered generative AI design process is quite different. It's a new version of how we worry about one of the core problems with AI is it's supposed to empower us, but bad design does the absolute opposite. There's just no halfway point. So I think this is going to be a really interesting thing to see how and to take a real case study approach to this.